Have you got a spare 200 grand to spend on a watch? Yeah, me neither. How about an alternative at less than £400? Got your attention now, haven't I? Hi guys, my name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Today I have a budget alternative to a Richard Mille in. It's from a company called WishDoIt, featuring a skeletonized, fully automatic movement and an ultra lightweight case design. This could scratch that Richard Mille itch for you. This has been sent to me by WishDoIt. I don't have to send it back. They are linked in the description if you are interested in them. Now, let's get into it. This is the Pioneer from WishDoIt. They specialize in Richard Mille homages with the tonneau style casing. They've made plenty of watches, but you'd be forgiven for thinking they all look pretty similar. They all really come down to their functions, from chronographs to heavily hollowed quartz options. They've even got this incredible samurai themed piece called the Armor. The one that I have in today actually has a skeletonized, fully automatic movement that holds an 80-hour power reserve and sweeps at 28,800 beats per hour. I believe this is the Chinese 7H50 movement. I could be wrong, however, as they haven't listed that in the description. If you know any better, let me know in the comments. With an aluminium alloy, or aluminum if you are of the American persuasion and pronouncing it wrong, and a fluorine rubber strap. This comes in at an incredible 97 grams, which massively aids in the wearability of the piece considering the dimensions that we have on offer today. With that being said, let's talk about those dimensions. In diameter across the casing, this one comes in at 42 millimeters. It's 15.5 millimeters thick. Yes, it's a chunky boy. Lug to lug comes in at 50.6 millimeters. And I'm going to skip the lug size today because these are integrated WishDoIt bands and you'd have to pick one up from them. It's definitely a bigger case than most, but it wears pretty well. One thing I will say that is, just like a girlfriend who loves cake, I wish it was a bit thinner. The bezel on this piece is what really drew me into it. The carbon-like effect really does set off the entire watch for me, and it definitely delivers that RM style. I don't believe it's actually carbon, as they haven't listed that on the description, which makes me believe that it's not. The screw features on the top of this casing really do deliver a industrial effect to the watch, packing a really large crown that fits the casing very well and is easy to use. This is a simple pull-push crown, which also gives really easy access to the manual wind process. One thing that I really do love about this skeletonized effect is that you can effectively watch the mainspring wind up in this piece, letting you know if you need a little bit of charge. The curved crystal on this watch really does fit the casing really nicely. This is, however, a mineral crystal and an obvious downgrade to the usual sapphire that we see on the channel. Altogether, this casing provides the watch with 50 meters of water resistance, which is probably what you'd expect from this type of sports style piece. The dial pretty much speaks for itself. It is fully skeletonized with a really lovely brushed effect frame. The exposed balance wheel almost has a mesmerizing effect to it and looks to almost be floating with that frame atop it. There are screw points around the entire dial, which almost gives an effect of this being a hand-built piece, which we know it isn't. We have a bold Dauphine handset, which is needed to give a little bit of legibility, as well as the matched indices around the dial itself. They are all loomed. The WishDoIt logo is printed to the 12 o'clock, as you can see there. Following that is a chaptering with the minute measures printed to it in white to give them some sort of legibility. Obviously, it's time for us to get these lights out and get into this lume shot. As you can see, we have two different lume signatures on this piece. We have the BGW9 and C3 colours. The handset is a bright green with the indices being that paler blue. At this budget, this is not a bad lume shot at all. I can see some patches fading at the moment. Overall, it's very well spread and they have hit all of the indices and handset well. Overall, I would give this a 6 out of 10. It's not too imaginative. However, it does everything well, and as it should do. I'm pleasantly surprised by WishDoIt with this. This is sat on a fluorine rubber band. Now that is across the entire WishDoIt collection, and honestly, it's been one of the joys to this piece for me. It's super comfortable and makes this much more of a pleasure to wear on wrist on a daily basis. It's a simple buckle strap, but it does have this vented effect, which I think gives it a much more sporty feel to the watch overall. And this light blue, really bright colour, I think brings the watch alive. It's definitely best to see this one worn to get the real wearability factor for it. So let's get this on wrist. As I keep saying, this is a much better fit than you would expect. Now, it is a very thick watch. 15.5 millimeters is no joke at all. It does curve to wrist, however, and this band definitely makes it a much easier wear on a day-to-day basis. I still stick to my point that I wish I'd see one of these with a much thinner case profile. I think that would be the ultimate Richard Mille homage for myself, and it'd probably be one that's stuck in my collection for a good while. However, with these being as thick as they are, I don't see them as an everyday wear. I do see them as more of an occasion wear myself. Okay, we know what comes now. Let's talk about the drawbacks. This is a very large watch. As mentioned, it fits to the wrist really well. However, it is really thick. I've always said that I'd love to see one of these homages with a thinner movement option and therefore a much thinner casing, because I think it really provide the ultimate alternative to a Richard Mille. However, unsurprisingly, I'm still yet to get my wish. Also, the ambiguity around the movement that is being used here is always an annoyance for myself. Now, we know that they're using a movement off the shelf, so why can't they just tell us what it is? I'd really like some transparency from the brand when it comes to that, because I think that is paramount for consumers. Another moan that I have, which I have mentioned before with WishDoIt, these fake jewels that they apply to the dial, obviously trying to make this look like a more expensive, more luxurious piece, I think really do take away from the design and make it feel a bit more cheap than it should. Overall, I think that WishDoIt are making some of the best budget-friendly homages to Richard Mille at the moment, even if there are some improvements that I'd like to see. On a final note, if the Western market is your target, that rhymes, then surely we need to be looking at moving away from the WishDoIt brand name. It doesn't really hit the mark when it comes to branding in the European and American markets. Thanks for indulging me today, guys. I would love to hear your opinion on WishDoIt and their pieces. What do you guys think after seeing this one in the metal? Let me know in the comment section below. And more importantly, if you'd like to pick one of these up for yourself, then the website is linked in the description. They have a sale on at the moment, so it could be a peak time to buy one of these watches. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.